Hey perfectly pampered cooks, welcome back to my channel. Today we're making shredded chicken stuffed peppers. For today's recipe we're going to be starting off with a large saucepan over medium heat and about a tablespoon of olive oil. You can use canola oil or any oil of your choosing. To that we're going to add a 1/4 cup of diced onions and 2 tablespoons of garlic paste. You can use chopped garlic if you choose. Again, I have a family who does not love chunky garlic in their recipe, so garlic paste is a great alternative to chopped chunks of garlic. You could also do as I've done in previous videos and use your microplane to grate the garlic. To the softened onions and garlic, I'm adding 5 chicken drumsticks that I have removed the skin from. Typically with this recipe, I would either use boneless, skinless chicken thighs or even boneless, skinless chicken breasts. For some strange reason, I have an overabundance of chicken drumsticks in my freezer, so this was a great way for me to use up what I have. So I've got these 5 chicken drumsticks kind of crammed in this pan pretty well. I'm just looking to brown them slightly. We don't need them to be cooked through at this point. Now, if you want to use a larger pan, by all means. I just did this because I know that my drumsticks are going to shrink down during the cooking process. So you're going to want to turn them a couple of times until you get just a little bit of brownness on all of the sides. And again, we're not looking for completely cooked through chicken, we just need the chicken to be slightly browned. To my slightly browned chicken, I am adding 1/2 cup of chicken stock. I'm using chicken stock that I made from a whole roaster chicken. You can use a can of chicken broth, a box of chicken broth, chicken granules with water, whatever you've got on hand. So we're just going to bring that to a nice bubble. You don't want a full rolling boil, but a good hard simmer. To this mixture, we're adding 1/2 cup of red enchilada sauce. I am using mild because my kids are not fans of the spicy. If you like spicy, use the spicy enchilada sauce. Mine just came from a can. No need to make it from scratch. If you have it from scratch, awesome, but all you need is 1/2 cup. So while our chicken is simmering, I've just got some bell peppers. I have red, yellow, and orange. You can use green or whatever color you choose. I'm cutting them in half and then removing the seeds and the stems up from the inside, which is where all of your heat is going to be. I choose to use the red and yellow and orange because they have a sweeter, milder flavor than your regular standard green bell peppers. But basically all you want to do is get all of the seeds out and have a nice well for your mixture to sit in. What I'm using to take the seeds out is called a scoop loop. It's by Pampered Chef, and basically all it does is cut out everything from the middle that you don't want in there. It's a serrated round edge. You can use your hands for this if you don't have a scoop loop. I just like to use gadgets because I'm kind of a gadgety girl. So this is what our chicken is going to look like once it's cooked through. As you can see, it has shrunk down quite a bit. Get all of your chicken out onto a cutting board. You can let yours cool slightly, which I would highly suggest because I burned my fingers. And at this point you're going to want to remove the chicken from the bone. Warning, if you do use drumsticks or if you use chicken thighs, because they are naturally juicier, fattier cuts of meat, they are going to be a little greasier than if you were to use boneless, skinless chicken breasts. Once you've removed all of the meat from the bones, you're just going to want to give it a rough chop. It doesn't need to be finely shredded. You just don't want really, really big, huge chunks of chicken. You want to have it nicely diced to go into our mixture. Again, as you can see, it's a little greasy, so it doesn't cut through as easily with the knife. Once you have cut your chicken, you're just going to dump it all into a bowl. Now, to this mixture, what I am going to add is 1 cup of rice. I used rice because I happen to have rice left over from dinner from another night. You could use lentils, you could use quinoa or couscous, whatever you choose to use as a filler. You just need it to be able to absorb and slightly expand. That's why rice is usually my choice. Now, to this, we are going to add all of those yummy, delicious caramelized onions and the sauce that our chicken cooked in. As you can see, it got nice and thick and reduced. Now, I will caution you, my mixture, once I've mixed it, looks a little wet, and it was a little bit wetter than I would normally prefer. If your mixture is slightly wetter than you want it to be, add a little bit more rice. I would say add up to 1.5 cups, 1 cup and 3/4. I wouldn't do much more than that because you don't want your mixture to dry out. All you need to do now is mix everything together, make sure that it's all well combined. To this mixture, you could add more veggies if you wanted to. Corn would be a great addition. Even if you wanted to add some spice, maybe some jalapenos at this point. Anything that you've got in your fridge would be great. What we're going to do with this mixture, once it's well combined, is we're just going to scoop it out and stuff it into our peppers. Now, when you place your peppers in a pan, you're going to want a shallow pan. I am using a pan that I usually use for my meatballs because it's got a rack built into it. Now, you don't need to have them raised up. You can have them just sit in the pan. I just happen to, again, like gadgets and different kinds of pans. So for this, all we're doing is stuffing our peppers. And by all means, you do not have to cut your peppers in half the way that I do. You could simply cut the top off, scoop out all of the seeds from the inside, and have them sitting up on their bottoms and place them in the pan like that. If you happen to do it that way, my suggestion would be to use a smaller pan where they sit more closely and snugly together. The peppers are going to soften in the oven, and when they soften, they start to lose their shape and relax, so you don't want them in a pan spaced out a lot because they'll fall over and collapse. If they're in a small pan and snug next to each other, they're less likely to fall apart because they'll be leaning on each other. So at this point, you're going to want your oven preheated to 400 degrees. We're going to bake these covered with tin foil for 30 to 45 minutes. Now, this is very important. I am adding to my pan another 1/2 cup of chicken broth. This is to help them steam and soften. If you don't have chicken broth, you can use water. You just need at least 1/2 cup of liquid in the pan to make sure that they steam and soften. So off these go into the oven for 30 to 45 minutes. You don't want them to go longer than that because, like I said, they're steaming and they will start to lose their shape and fall apart. Now, as you can see through the steam, they have softened quite a bit. This is what we want them to look like. Anything, unless you like yours crispier, anything past this point, they're going to kind of disintegrate. Or you could cook them for maybe 20 minutes and they're going to have a firmer texture. You're basically just wanting to soften them enough where you can cut them easily. I am topping each pepper with probably a 1/4 cup of cheese, maybe less, even less than that, probably an 1/8 cup of cheese. Add as much cheese or as little cheese as you like. Covering them back up and back into the oven for another 5 minutes or until your cheese is nice and bubbly. And this is your result. To serve, all you're going to do is put these beautiful little peppers on a plate, serve them with salsa, serve them with sour cream, serve them with guacamole, any combination of the two, even a nice salad. I hope you've enjoyed this recipe. If you have, give me a thumbs up. Until next time, enjoy!